Grand evening, grand evening. It's a little late at night. I watched a bit of the football game, some of it. And it's pre-Christmas, if you want to call it that. The traffic is horrible here in Houston, in the suburb cities around Houston. It's horrible. People are driving crazy, lots of accidents. You'd think people would act better during this holiday, but to me, the holidays in big cities makes it worse. And I'm in the suburbs, and it's still worse. What you're looking at is some of my tanks. This one right here, I'm doing right now. I'm painting it, as you can see. All I have to do now is put a good seal of acrylic clear gloss spray on it with acrylic spray. I'm going to spray it because it's a whole lot easier. Costs more, but it's a whole lot easier to spray it and seal the paint on there so the paint never comes off. And what I want to talk about is a few things that are going on right now when it comes to 2024 and 2025 and what we're doing to grow more food. As usual, I'm still in the infrastructure phase. It's a journey. It's not a race. Because this is Aquaponics. And I want to do all my DIY systems right. And I like painting them. I love the creative part of growing food. And aquaponics is very creative because you have all types of moving parts and so forth. When you're doing aquaponics, it's not like growing food just in the soil. Aquaponics is more active, it's more alive with all the moving fish, the moving water, the pumps, the air circulation pumps, all the mechanisms that go into it. This is a 100-gallon tank. This is tank number, let me get my mind right, because I have 8 of these systems that I'm building. This is number, I would say this is number 3. Number 3. There it is, the inside of it. My DIY mechanisms that I designed and installed. It's a beautiful thing when you design something and install it and it works just fine. As you see, number 1's outside. I'm going to paint number 1 too, by the way. All of my systems, all the tanks are going to be painted. I decided that. It makes growing aquaponics more creative, more visual to look at. And it's something that's different. Aquaponics is different from growing in the soil because it's a whole different way of growing food. All sustainably. It's way more environmentally safer and more ecological. It saves 90% more water. It's all organic growing food aquaponically. And you can do this anywhere. You can grow food anywhere you want to aquaponically. You can't do that with traditional gardening. This tank's already done. As you can see here, it's already been acrylic and all that. It's just waiting for me to tighten the spot to set this system up. And there's number 4 right there. That's all running good and well. All done too. And here it is. Pouring all that good food in there. Man, everything just grows great in aquaponically. It grows 3 times faster than it does in the soil. 3 times faster. And with aquaponics, I want to talk about what's going on in the country as far as and how with the economy and how it's affecting people growing food. Interest rates are super high, and you know, the unemployment is getting worse, and most people can't even afford to buy homes, starting at 6% interest rate and up. Which is crazy. It's crazy. Imagine trying to buy a land at 6% interest rate right now, people. It's almost unimaginable right now. People have stopped buying houses and they stopped buying land because they can't afford to. This is why I think aquaponics is going to start growing, because now people are learning that, hey, you mean I can do this anywhere? You can do this in an apartment. You can do this in your backyard of your current house, or wherever. All the I love looking at my DIY gadgets that I design that are working well. And another thing, people, is that with aquaponics, people say, "Isn't that expensive? Do I buy all the parts?" You don't have to buy all the parts. You can make your own parts. All this stuff right here, I designed. I designed all this stuff. I didn't go out to a aquaponics store and buy all my tanks and all this. All these tanks were made from these 60-gallon food grade storage tanks that I bought for 15 bucks. That I designed myself. I designed all the plumbing and plastic. I designed all that. It's my creation. So you don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars doing this. Another thing, if you are disabled and you see people with these large homesteads, and you're disabled and you're in a wheelchair or whatever, if you're a disabled veteran and you can't physically do all that, you can't physically get in the ground with a hoe and plow lots of dirt and dig because you have back problems, or worse, or you have all these medical problems, you can't do it. With aquaponics, you don't have to worry about that, because there's no digging in the soil, there's no bending over, a whole lot of bending over, there's no constantly lifting heavy equipment, there's none of that. A disabled person can garden easily with aquaponics. So with aquaponics, anybody can garden anywhere in the country, whether it's cold, hot, warm, desert, tropical rainforest, you can aquaponics. Once you get your systems built, take your time, build it slowly on your own time, especially if you're disabled or so forth. Take your time. This is a journey, it's not a race. Once you get all the parts built up, so forth, the system runs itself. It's so much, to me, it's a whole lot less labor, way more less labor than growing food in a traditional way. A whole lot less labor. So the system waters itself. You can add food feeders for your fish. The fish can be automatically fed. The system runs itself. There's no bending over. There's no lifting heavy pounds of soil and dirt and so forth. There's none of that in aquaponics. Everything is very, very light. And then you don't have to go out and buy 100 acres, 20 acres, 15 acres of land to do aquaponics. You can do this in your backyard. You can do this in your garage, or you can do both. I'm doing both. You can grow a whole lot more food right where you are. You don't have to break yourself in this horrible economy. This economy is horrible. I don't want to see anybody go out here and get the 6% loan. Right now, loans in real estate start at 6%, which is crazy right now. You don't have to go break yourself to get a homestead. You know, you don't have to do all that. And aquaponics is just another way of growing food. It's another way of growing. So there's all kinds of other ways you could grow food without hurting yourself if you're disabled, and without breaking the bank to get a homestead. Even if you have a homestead, if you have land, you can do aquaponics right on your homestead. A whole lot less work and so forth. Lots of food, vegetables, and fruit and fish growing, all in one closed eco-organic system. I'm going to give these little juvenile babies some food while I'm talking to you guys about this. Give them a little food. The last meal for today. As they're eating. This is the end of 2024 as we go into 2025. What are you guys doing for 2025? Are you preparing your garden? Are you starting new ventures? Are you getting into aquaponics? You know, so forth. Are you trying something new and different? Most folks are scared to try something new. They're scared of all this because it's different. It's different. Try something new. You might like it. You might love it. This pepper plant's going on its second year. Look at those peppers. Growing aquaponically. All these plants were grown from seed and they were grown aquaponically. Look at that ashwagandha. Look how big it's getting. Every day things getting bigger. There's so many new ways now that we can grow food besides the traditional way. There's nothing wrong with growing traditionally. I did that too. But this is a whole lot easier for me. Way easier than growing traditionally. A whole lot easier. It's a whole lot less labor. A whole lot less labor. So, you can grow food. Anybody can grow food aquaponically. If you can't do it traditionally, due to your physical constraints, if you become disabled or whatever, or if you just like growing aquaponically, which I love, you can just grow food aquaponically. That's simple. So, with all the economic crisis we're going through, food deserts, look at all the food deserts and we have in these large urban cities. They have plenty of lots in these urban cities that can be turned in, that are being turned into aquaponic farms right in the city. Right in the city, they're growing organic food via aquaponics. And it's a beautiful thing to see that. How the agricultural market is now changing. It's changing. It's changing due to our weather changes and our urban growth. People are finding other ways to bring food closer to them than bringing it in, trucking it in, flying it in from large farms that are way out in rural areas. You can grow food, more food and more organic food aquaponically right in the city, anywhere, on top of rooftops, on top of buildings, on top of lots that have been left that are cleaned out, all the rubbish and glass and so forth, and cities and urban cities that have been left behind. People can grow food where they are, aquaponically. You don't have to live way out in the country in a homestead to eat healthy food. If you grow food aquaponically, you can grow it anywhere. People are already doing that. I've seen lots and lots of people who are getting into this. Now you have new farmers who are growing aquaponically, and they're doing very well. They're making good profit because they're right in the city. They have aquaponic farms and they're growing. People are getting fresh food, way fresher than going to the store, right in the city, from food that's grown aquaponically. So I just wanted to share that with you guys before I get off here and call it a night. And now I'm going to go ahead and acrylic this next couple of days. Acrylic it, all the paint on there, get it nice and sealed, glossy and sealed, and so it won't chip off and so forth. Have a nice day, y'all. And in the day, ain't nobody coming to save us.